Good morning, 5th grade. Yesterday we talked about exponents. We know it's all about that base. And today we are going to go back to order of operations, and we're going to use exponents this time. Because if you remember last time, I got rid of the exponents because that was a whole separate lesson. Well, today we're going to bring those exponents back in and use them. Now, as a quick review, because I saw this on a few of your assignments when I was grading, 5 to the second power does not equal 10. No. 5 to the second power, it's all about that base. So I need to see how many 5s do I have? 2. So I'm going to put 5. There's 1. There's 2. Put in my 5s, and I'm multiplying. So 5 squared, or 5 to the second power, is equal to 5 times 5, and 5 times 5 is equal to 25. This does not equal 10. Let's do another one that I saw some people. Let's say we have 2 to the 5th power. Okay, that exponent is telling me all about that base. It's not multiplying the two of them together, because I know 2 times 5 is 10. I learned that in 3rd grade. In 5th grade, I'm doing 2 to the 5th power. So this exponent tells me how many to put. How many do I put? 5. So I'm going to go ahead and put my 5 blanks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it's all about the base. What's our base? The big 2. So I'm going to put 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and my operation is multiply. So I'm going to multiply all of them. This looks like one of the problems from yesterday. It's just slightly different, I believe. So if you said 2 to the 5th power equaled 10 or 12, no. Let's see what 2 to the 5th power is equal to. Why not? Then we'll get started on order of operations. So if I know 2 times 2 gives me what? 4. And then 4 times 2 gives me 8. And then 8 times that 2 gives me 16. And then 16 doubled gives me 32. That's one way you could solve it, is I solved this and then I added on each 2. Another way I saw someone solve it was they said 2 times 2 gives me 4. 2 times 2 gives me 4. Okay? And then you have this other 2 hanging out. So I have turned this into a 4 times 4, but I still have this 2 that's hanging out. So here I can do 4 times 4 gives me 16, and then 16 times this 2 equals 32. So multiplication can be solved in several different ways, but for exponents, just remember, you're not multiplying the big number, the base, and the exponent. The exponent is telling you how many times you're multiplying that base by itself. So if it helps you to put the blanks, put the blanks. Train your brain to do it correctly. Because remember, math always tries to trick you. All right. So now we'll start with our order of operations. And if you have something to write with, I want you to go ahead and get it. Pause the video to get what you need. Because if you can write this down and do this with me, you will remember it better, you will learn it better, and it'll make the rest of everything go smoothly, just starting with now. Especially since you don't have your math notebooks. A lot of you don't. I still don't know if I can get those to you yet. Okay, so now off to the side, I'm going to write my remainder. Okay, if we remember, the G stands for groups. So it could be brackets, it could be parentheses, or it could be, I still don't know what those things are called, but they're the curvy, crazy ones. There we go. The E stands for exponents, so I'm going to put a little 2 to remind myself of that. M and D stand for multiplication or division, whichever one comes first when I read it left to right. Multiplication does not always come first. That's why we have them next to each other instead of writing it straight down. It's whichever one comes first when I read it. Same with addition and subtraction. It's not whichever one. It's not always addition. It's whichever one comes first. So I'm actually going to color code because you guys know how colors keep me organized. So those two go together. Those two go together. Exponents is on its own. And groups always go first. Okay. So now, let's do a practice problem together. And it takes me a second to think of one, so just give me a second. All right, start out with a kind of smaller one and we'll build up from here. Because we're throwing in exponents, and exponents are crazy. They're crazy to make sense of, and once we make sense of them, they're not crazy at all because math follows a pattern. Okay, so first I need to look. Do I have any groups? Do I have any parentheses, brackets, or those crazy squiggly lines? Yes, I do. I have groups. I have parentheses right here. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my parentheses. And inside my parentheses, I have 5 plus 5. So what's 5 plus 5? 10. So I write my 10, and I'm going to rewrite the rest of the problem every single time. Do not try to do it in your head, or you will make mistakes. Okay, so next, I have to look. Do I have any exponents? I don't have any more groups, but do I have any exponents? And yes, I have a little 2 hanging out right there. So I need to do, okay, what is 3 squared? 6? No. No. If I tricked you, I got you. 3 squared is not 6. It's all about that base. So if I look over here to the side, 3 squared means I need 2 3's. So 3 times 3 equals 9. So 3 squared is going to give me 9. And I rewrite the rest of my problem. So now I just have 10 times 9, which equals 90. And I circle my answer. Okay. Now if I did not follow order of operations, my answer would be completely different. It would be crazy. Sometimes it might end up being the same, but that's just a coincidence. Don't think that, well, I added first and I still got it right. That would just be a coincidence. It's not going to happen every time. If you follow order of operations and you put it in your calculator, it's going to come the same way every time. Speaking of calculators, if you've ever turned in a math assignment without showing me your work and showing me your thinking step by step, I'm going to assume you're using a calculator and you are getting a 0 because I know what your calculator knows. It knows everything. I need to know what you know, and I need to see your thinking. Okay, let's do another one. This time, let's do 75 minus 5 squared plus 18 divided by 9. Go ahead and take a second to write that down. 75 minus 5 squared plus the group 18 divided by 9. Make sure parentheses are where my parentheses are, because if they're off, then your answer could be different from mine. Okay, so let's do order of operations again. First, I'm going to see my G. Are there any groups anywhere on our page? Yes, we have parentheses right here. So I'm going to say, okay, what's 18 divided by 9? In other words, 9 times what is going to give me 18? G. So I bring down my 2, and I'm going to rewrite the rest of the problem. Okay, so I've taken care of my groups. I don't have any more groups, so I need to go to my next step. Do I have any exponents? Yes, that little 2 hanging out in the air right there is an exponent I need to take care of. So I need to think of this as 5 times 5. Does not equal 10, it's 5 times 5. So what is 5 times 5? 25. So I bring down the rest of my problem. Okay. Next, I need to see, do I have any multiplication or division? I do not, so I don't have to worry about that step. Next, I need to see, do I have any addition or subtraction? Yes, I have both. And this is where it gets tricky. Because I see this A here, I see this addition sign here, so I want to do addition first. That's not how we do it. They're grouped together because they're like siblings. It's not about A always gets to go first. It's whichever one comes first, whichever one shows up first, whichever one is in line first. So I need to read. I have 75 minus 25 plus 2. So when I read this, which operation did I read first, minus or plus? I said minus, I subtracted first, so I'm going to subtract. So it's 75 minus 25. If I think about quarters, if I have 75 cents and I give away a quarter, I now have 50 cents. So I have 50. Bring down the rest of my problem, which is simply plus 2. So 50 plus 2 equals 52. Okay. So the part a lot of people get wrong with order of operations is whenever they have multiplication and division, they want to say multiplication comes before division every time, and it doesn't. Or if they have addition and subtraction, they want to say addition comes before subtraction every time, and it doesn't. It's whichever one comes first when you read the number sentence. Okay, let's do one more example together, and then you're going to do your schoolwork assignment on your own. Let's do 3 times 2 squared minus 20 divided by 2 plus 1. Yeah, sure. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Write this down. Make sure you put your parentheses where I put them. I put them in a weird spot this time. That exponent is outside of the parentheses. Okay? Don't put it next to the 2. You have parentheses, and then your exponent is touching the parentheses. So 3 times 2 inside parentheses, the little exponent squared, minus 20 divided by 2 plus 1. Okay, let's get started. So, do I have any groups? G for groups. Do I have any groups? Yes, I do. I have parentheses right here. So I need to solve what's inside of my parentheses first. It's like the parentheses are hugging the numbers. These numbers are needy. They need special attention first. So I go to my 3 times 2, and 3 times 2 gives me what? 6. So watch this part. I solved inside my parentheses, and I rewrite the rest of the problem. So it might just be a 6 in the parentheses. I could get rid of the parentheses and just show that it's 6 squared now. But I'm going to kind of leave them there just so you know that they didn't poof disappear. This turned into a 6 because I solved the inside, but I still need to take care of that exponent over there. So now I rewrite the rest of my problem. Okay. Now, do I have any more groups? Well, yeah, kind of, but it's right there and there's nothing to do inside of it. So I go to the next step. Do I have any exponents? Yes, my exponent is on my 6. So the exponent is telling me that's how many 6's I have. So I'm going to put my little lines. I have no 2 6's, and 6 times 6 gives me 36. So I do 36 minus 20 divided by 2 plus 1. Okay. I took care of my groups. I don't have any more exponents. Now I need to see, do I have any multiplication or division, whichever one comes first. If I read it, I have 36 minus 20 divided by 2 plus 1. I have a division symbol right there, so I'm going to solve. 20 divided by 2, in other words, what's half of 20? 10. And I rewrite the rest of my problem. Okay. Now, do I have any addition or subtraction? I have both of them again, but this time if I read it, starting on this end, 36 minus 10 plus 1, I come across the minus sign first. So 36 minus 10 gives me 26. And 26 plus that 1 gives me 27. So my answer to this one is 27. All right. This next one will be our last one together, and I want you to, when I'm done writing it down, I want you to pause the video and try this one on your own and see if your answer matches mine. All right. Yeah, that'll do. There's a lot of addition. I didn't put in any multiplication, but this will do. So once you've written this down, 6 minus 2 inside parentheses, with the little 2 on the exponent outside, divided by 4, plus 3 plus 5 inside parentheses. Once you've written it down, go ahead and pause the video and try to solve it. I'm going to solve it over here, and we'll just see if our answers match up. Okay, if you got the answer 12, you are correct. 6 minus 2 gave me 4, and I put my exponent outside my parentheses. Rewrote the rest of the problem. Then I still had groups, still had another set of parentheses. So I went ahead, said 3 plus 5 equals 8, rewrote the rest of the problem. Next, I finished my groups, so I go to exponents. 4 to the second power is 4 times 4, which is 16. Rewrote the rest of the problem. Then I'm left with the division and addition. Division comes first. 16 divided by 4 equals 4. Rewrote the rest of the problem, so 4 plus 8 ends up being 12. Okay? If you got it right, yay, kiss your brain. Thank you, brain. Even if you got it wrong, kiss your brain for trying, because this is hard math. This is hard stuff. 5th grade math is much more difficult than it was when I was in 5th grade. So you have an assignment on schoolwork I want you to solve, and let me know if you need anything. Check and make sure the rest of your schoolwork assignments are done, and check your live grades, your logins on your login card, because I uploaded grades yesterday and some of you have some missing assignments. If you do, let me know. It could be that you took a picture of something and posted it on Seesaw, but if you put it in the wrong Seesaw, I didn't get it. Okay? All right, guys, good luck.